Hey, friends, welcome back in another Saturday. I took a week off last week for time with family, but I'm back and another in the ongoing comic community interview series I've been alpha testing, as we discussed backstage, uh, driving through the community, getting to know people a little bit better. This has been a whole lot of fun. It, when I when I wanted to sort of look at this channel without kids, because the teenagers are off doing other things now. I really wanted to spend a little bit of time with friends that I've made in this community and make some new ones. So that's been the driving force of this interview show. Where are the comics? Because it's comic adjacent, right? It's community focused, comic adjacent, and we'll get to see some books and we'll get to hear some stories. But I hope you've been enjoying this as much as I have. There's a fun little playlist now going. Some really great community members that are willing to test drive this for me. And high at the top of that list is the guest I've got tonight. I got to know her through the game show Comigories. That was the main way I got to know Lady Fantastic. If you haven't seen that over on Matt's channel or here on my channel, it's a whole lot of fun. It's very stressful, very challenging, but one of the coolest heads in the community in playing this game is Caroline Lady Fantastic. And yeah, you're just cool under pressure.
But because there's nothing going on, it's just a monkey banging cymbals, bro.
But you were always one of the best contestants to have on that show because nobody could predict the books that you would show. You could talk, smooth talk your way through any competition with anybody in the community, and yet you always seemed like you were having an absolute blast, and it was just a pleasure. So
improvisation is such a delight for me. I do love a good improvised situation. I'm thinking on the fly.
And over the years, I've been on lots of different live streams with you over the years. I've gotten to know about your love for things like Lord of the Rings, science. Obviously, you are a science junkie, and I absolutely adore that. And you just have this sort of passion for nerd culture as a whole. It seems like you are in all facets of nerd culture, and
I like learning. Fantastic, and I like people being passionate about the things that bring them joy.
For sure.
How do you not support that? Got to get behind that. Hell yeah. Bearded comic bro. Another
I've got the link down below for Lady Fantastic's YouTube channel, but you can catch her with Not Near Mint Rob Wurst on his channel. A lot of times, occasionally Friday nights. I know he's been doing some live streams there for a while. So worth the time. And I've got her Instagram as well if you need that. But let's say hello to some friends showing up in the chat, kicking this morning off. We got Sharon, Life with Two YouTubers. What's going on, Sharon? And we got Ruben Guzman, the White Tiger. What's going on, Ruby G? We got Rob Boswell in the chat. What's going on, Rob? Common Man Wellbore. What's going on? Happy Saturday to you, sir. Even Perry Comics coming out of the woodworks. What is going on, Perry?
Dude, he's put on a pair of Crocs and he's ready to freaking take this day by the balls.
I think they're in active mode because he's started watching Star Trek The Next Generation and he's hooked. He's way in for the first time ever. He's Star Trek TNG.
Perry, thank you. Welcome to life.
Yes.
Q.
That's so good.
Perry is like Q of the comic community. Perry is the Q of the comic community. Oh my God. It's true.
It fits.
Trust me. That or he's a Ferengi, but that's for Deep Space Nine.
He posted a video clip of Star Trek first season TNG with Q. That you should check out on his Instagram.
Oh, that's so funny. I love Q.
Yes. He's a very divisive character. Some people absolutely love him like you and I, and some people just can't stand those episodes.
Who am I? I think I'm what is Whoopi Goldberg's character's name? Yeah, I'm either Guinan or I feel like sometimes I'm Beverly. I'm a Beverly Crusher.
Beverly's great doctor. What's up, James? Good to see you, MJ.
You're in good hands with her, man. Yes. But then sometimes I had those Betazoid feels. You get that Betazoid intuition, especially around certain times of the. Anyways,
Intuition.
Really. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I don't. Intuition's the wrong word.
What's up, Ian? Good to see you, sir. And Derek's in the chat. What's going on, Derek? Comic Gories. It all comes back to that. I mean, it was definitive. It was very formative, I should say, at the beginning
like
of
Kevin
my
Bacon
YouTube.
of the comic community. 6 degrees of Comic Gories.
There it is. As mentioned, the bearded comic bro rolling in. What's going on, bearded? Silver-haired, Bronze Age babe. What's going on, Sarah? Good of you to come by. Lady F is a big fan of ducks.
I was thinking like Sarah's gonna be so pissed because I don't have a DC book in sight.
Uh-oh. Let's see. I got Raging Cajun JD. What's going on, JD? I gotta pick your brain about Disneyland here soon because I know you're the Disneyland guru, and I'm making some plans.
Like a dictionary, encyclopedic level.
He knows everything. Beverly is a good fit, says Sharon. Dude, Lane, it's good to see you. Unruly Simeon, one of my favorite people. I hope you're doing well, sir. The Ferengi. Uh-oh. Ferengi?
I love
Don't mess with the Ferengi.
They crack me up.
We got JP. Yes, she does make this channel fantastic. Absolutely. We got Terry from the Bronze Page. What's going on, Terry? Good morning. A little bit early today. Yes, a little earlier. Kate has a volleyball tourney, and I want to make sure I can catch some of the games. So Caroline was nice enough to go a little earlier for me today.
I'm central.
If the match isn't on Peacock, somebody's talking about watching sports tonight. Sports talking in the chat. What's going on here?
What? We don't do that. We don't do sports ball.
This is Nerd World. Welcome to the Nerd World.
No.
So
let's play with your spears elsewhere.
We got deep in the weeds already with great science fiction, but my curiosity for you in this world of comics is what was your entry point? Like, where did you, when you came in as a kid, or what age when you found comics? What was Caroline like at that age? What was she doing? What was young Caroline like?
I was always asking questions, never satisfied with answers. Thinking most of the rules and boundaries set up for me were the most arbitrary, goofy as shit.
And they probably were.
Just looking for everything was new because you're young. Everything's fucking new. All right. Entry. Entry is like I'm 6, 7, and it's summertime, and I'm at my granny's, my granny Pinkston's, my mom's mom, and she lives in a little suburb in a city that's like in the county next to us. And there's a family a couple of houses down, and they always have yard sales. And 2 of the people living there are teenage boys. Okay. So these teenage boys are always trying to get a little extra milk money, I'm sure, to do whatever teenage boys do, which is like buy video games and bicycles and whatever, nudie mags. I don't know. And, but this one teenage guy had a stack of his books that he would sell, and they were all Avengers from the 80s. Ooh. And this represents a book that this is the shit that got me started. So this was my gateway drug, was Avengers circa early mid 80s.
That's a great underrated key too. That one.
Back when Monica joins the team, and becomes Captain Marvel. And so this was my entry into what is this media? Whoa, it's these weird characters, and they're talking about being super powerful or going to space. Then you open it up, and there's and there's panels of their dialogue, and they're very serious events occurring, and people are having to utilize very awesome powers to try to avert impending doom. And it was all very enrapturing for a little me. It was very enrapturing. And there were some words I didn't know what they meant, but I was going to figure it out. All right. I was going to figure it out. So this was like first entry. But
I love
like
it.
there's like that's the beginning entry. So mid-entry, there's this thing that came on
There it
when I
is.
was a little one, and it was this cartoon. Was
Heck
this
yeah.
cartoon called X-Men Adventures. Well, no, it wasn't. It was just called like X-Men animated series.
Yeah.
But this is what it was based off of, and because it's adjacent, right? And that was one of the greatest shows in terms of depicting storylines that maintained like that stayed true to the actual material,
Right.
right? So then I had to go get my goofy ass into X-Men. And so now we're talking about ending the entry. Caroline's young. She's first gotten into things. She's felt her way around. And now she's going and she's picking out media that she knows she likes based on what she's read.
So
We're
there's
going
curating happening now.
we're going to 1994 and we're going Wolverine 79. Bro has gotten his ish ripped out by Magneto. Okay.
Yep.
It's he's working with bone claws here. Doesn't know his body has changed, y'all. He's gone through some changes. And it doesn't have the strength that he thought it might. And so he fights Cyber for the first time post bone rippy out adamantium removal a la Magneto. And he gets his shit crushed. And it like so for me, looking at oh oh oh. So this is what got me into it.
What a great lineup. And I will say I just recently got that Avengers book because I told Magic Lasso that I found a couple of really cool trade paperbacks of Monica Rambeau's history. Like it's
So
all
cool.
of her early appearances through her solo stuff and all the
Yeah.
different iterations of, Photon and all those things.
This is like second appearance, I think, or something.
It's really early in her run. And I gifted one to him and I read one myself. And that issue was absolutely fantastic. Just riveting stuff.
Scott
And of
gets on
course,
my nerves.
I knew
So
her as the leader of the Avengers. So yeah.
sorry. I'm like getting detracted. They're talking about, oh boy, don't be a Cyclops apologist today. Not today. Okay. All
It's
right.
amusing.
So
Well, hold on. We got some friends in the chat. We got Kate in the chat. What's going on, Kate? Thank you for coming by. And I missed Phil Ailing in the chat. What's going on, Phil? Happy Saturday, gang. I hope everybody's doing all right. Lady F says, I was hoping Wolverine would get rid of Cyclops. The show would also develop my distaste for Jean. Love triangles, man. Love triangles are real. He's such a funny duddy.
It's no fun. He's like Captain America, but worse, less hunky.
At least Captain America, will push back against bad leadership, right? Captain America will push back against
Cyclops is the bad leadership.
Inversely, yeah, he'll just go along with whatever Xavier tells him.
He's a bitch boy. Sorry, that's not.
But that's fantastic. How was school for you at that age? Did you like school? Was it hard for you? Did you enjoy it? I mean, everybody seems to hit differently when they find comics.
I did fine in school. What bothered me the most, like I said, were the arbitrary nature of rules and structure and big humans bossing me around and me not really understanding, like, why the fuck do I have to do this stupid shit right now? Because, and it's just like, okay, let the indoctrination begin because you said so. Fine, fuck it, whatever. You're bigger than me anyway, so I can't fight it.
Making the little drone.
Yes.
Trying to make Caroline a drone, which I can't imagine.
Setting me up to prepare me for prison because that's
this right here. Yes. Sharon,
no.
I can agree with that.
I got I made it.
It's a matter of finding your place, right? Because I feel like you find your vibe, you find the people that you connect with, and whether that's again a specific subject area, that you find absolutely like speaks to you, or a group of people,
I got in trouble for talking too much, like, for sure.
I mean, that's definitely something I share with you. We both have the gift of gab.
I was a chatty Cathy.
So as far as like any gaps in your collecting, like if you started at that age, which is a similar age for me as well, were there times where you were like, I got away from it, I wasn't reading at all? What were some of those gaps like? And then was there anything that brought you back? What were the books that made you reconnect?
Yeah. So after about age, so I slowed down around 13 or 14, but didn't completely stop because I know that like me and my buddies would go to the comic shop to get the origins. And I was like, it was later on in high school. I was getting close to graduating. I can't remember when Origins came out, but it was like late 90s, early 2000. Because I graduated in 2002. You know what? Let me just look, actually.
You mean like
Wolverine.
the X-Men Origins Wolverine thing?
Yeah, the comic, Wolverine Origin comic book series. Come on, bro.
I can jump into my CLZ.
2001. So yeah,
Nice.
that came
Good
out like
memory.
my junior year. So it was like junior, senior year. And so me and my buddies, every like Wednesday when it came out, we'd all jump in my 1984 Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
Ooh.
With like only 7,500 miles on it because I got it from some lady that died. And
we were rolling deep. I had a Datsun 280ZX. We could have rolled together. We would have looked awesome.
Bro, I was like, my car was like an inch and a half longer than like the Suburban. Like,
and mine was only about an inch and a half off the ground. So,
yeah.
you know, I couldn't really even do speed bumps.
They were tactically like difficult to maneuver. But
yeah, but like anybody that hit you would get crushed and you would just like a tank
you
right
just
over
keep
them.
going. Exactly. Exactly. You were protected. So we would load into my car and go and we would get that. But then when I graduated and went to college, like that's when I stopped collecting because I had to like hit the books and I couldn't bring like my stuff with me. But so in that interim, I ended up buying quite a few boxes of unopened like Marvel cards from the 90s, from the early 90s, because that's when they had sunk and like were basically worthless. I could have bought like a pack of 94 Fleer Ultra X-Men. You look at that, what a sealed box of that goes for now. I was buying those for like $30 a box, a hobby box. Okay. Now Google 1995 Marvel Masterpieces sealed hobby box on eBay. They're going for like $2,500 to $5,000 now.
Yikes.
I got mine for $200 a hobby box. So like for some reason, my dumbass decided to buy all these fancy fun cards because they're more compact. So like that's what I did during college. Okay. And then, so I graduated in 06, come back and start settling down in Nashville in 07 at my Vandy job. And then I see in 07, Marvel Masterpieces they were starting to release cards back because Upper Deck had acquired them. And this was the first series coming back and they were like $99 a box. And so I bought two boxes. And from one of those boxes, I pulled a Colleen Doran.
Ooh, no way.
Captain America sketch
Look
card.
Look at that.
1997. And then I got back into comics, but this was my piece so this represents the time when I walked away from comics. I still had comic cards.
It was still in your blood.
Yeah. And towards the end of that, and then coming back.
That's cool.
Yeah. But this was kind of like the end of my no having comics days. So, but it was still
America brought you back.
Colleen Doran does not get the love she deserves. Y'all check her out. She's got an Instagram. Be there, be square. All right.
That's fantastic. And then
So
since
glad I know.
then, do you feel like you've been at least in the game a little bit
Oh, honey,
from that
I'm
point
too
on?
in the game. I'm too deep. I'm hitting the cervix wall, bro. It was not too much. This is too
Because
early for this shit. I'm sorry, guys.
only on my coast. On your coast, it's basically lunch.
That's true. I'm by myself. Nobody cares.
Because I mean, I've always had a challenge like balancing work and comic collecting, and it's only been the last like few years doing this that I feel like I've gotten deep in the game. But for you, it seems like you've been pretty consistent at this. So what would that would have been? What, 2007? You said on.
Yeah, but now to be fair, I didn't really get back into it. I would say then after that, you'd give it another 10 years or so before I'm really back to where, like you say, you feel like you're back in the game. I felt like I was back into the game.
Okay.
So go back around 2017, 2018 is really
okay
when I was like, okay, are you going to do this? Is this for real? Because you can, you can. And, like if you give yourself permission.
Adult money now.
Caroline, yeah, you are, you don't got kids. You're you're a single white female. Do what you want. You can't be told what to do. But I'm not the crazy type that follows somebody and like tries to be like them. I'm not that kind of single white female.
No, but it was around the same time I started doing YouTube in that 2018 range, and then you start connecting in with people and start hearing about books
we
you've
were
never heard of,
overlapping, bro.
It
That's
starts
why.
feeding the monster a little bit, right?
Yep.
I love the talk of the collecting cards in the chat. Definitely some fans.
Love cards. As a kid, the first thing that I ever collected, at like age 5, 6, baseball cards. I had to assimilate things, put them into a system, collect them, see the organism, and then you figure out why the fuck was I a scientist? But like that systemization and like collating of information, shut the fuck up. Oh God, I loved it. God. And especially like 1994 Flair Ultra X-Men or something, certain those cards would show metrics on the back.
Yes.
Of all this. Oh my God.
I would start comparing power stats and strength.
And I'm like,
and
so who is the smartest? Who am I going to need if they're going to be agile?
Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the Marvel offices when they debated that stuff? Like to be able to sit there and be like, really?
Drinking beers,
stronger than her? Like that doesn't make sense.
Over it.
Yeah, all the little minutia, the debates that were going on as far as like who is the smartest in the Marvel universe, like that would have been.
Those are some hot,
be a fly on the wall,
contentious debates,
right? Which they're the best. They're the comic shop debates that you have when you're buying books and you're chatting with your friends, right?
Those are serious. Like there's like pride and reputation on the line in some of those comic shop debates. Like your fucking like respect and your like reputation in the hood. Like it can go up or down.
You got to back up those statements.
Plus minus aura points,
Yep. Oh, big day today for John. Okay, I hope everything goes well. I don't know what the big day is in New York. I don't know if there's no cons there.
He's going to be on a show. He's going to be on Only Slabs.
Oh, is he only slabbing today? Yeah. Okay, John, I will have to catch I'll put the earbuds in at the volleyball game so I don't have to hear the whistles as much.
Yeah, go check out JSS Brooklyn on Only Slabs after this.
Nice.
Yeah, he'll be joining Comic Vet and Mr. Fat Stacks.
Rob.
They're all right.
That's fantastic. Rob, I met Rob. He's all right. That stash is real though. That stash is impressive in person. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You and I share a few loves as far as the household we were discussing backstage. Obviously, pet wise, I'm a new cat owner, and I know you've had an incredible cat, Miss Kitty, for a while now. What is the family and pet life like for you? What's that been like over the years? And are there any parents in comics that you have any respect for, that you what are your comic book parent figures that you would like?
It's a very odd and two-pronged question.
It is. There's several layers here.
You know, I'm okay with it. Hold on. Speaking of which, family. Okay, sorry, it was just my sister. And my baby sister. Who here is the pet one. I may have to silence this bitch. I love her. But sorry, Anna.
That's right. I got 2 brothers, and they're always messaging me.
Oh, Miss Kitty's. So Sharon, I was talking to John about this, but in the mornings I will feed her, and then it's like a shift switch. So when I get up, she goes and takes my warm spot in my bed. So like she's out. She's out.
Mine is in the window, just chilling, laying on the X-Men boxes.
Oh, bless. It's a tough life for Mama
Yeah,
Cat.
she's got to listen to me jabber on.
Yeah. I've always had cats. Love cats. They're like my familiar. But I'm not gonna lie, like I grew up on a farm. I love, nature. I love.
So were they like barn cats when you were little, like the ones that would like chase the mice and rats in the barn and stuff?
We would have those, yeah. Everybody needs a good barn cat. I mean, they keep the rodents out of, like, if you raise, like, we had cows, so they stayed out of the cow milk and, like, hay and stuff, out of the hay bales and from nesting and so like things like that, and they're just really good companions for me.
Sure.
For me, they were, and I love them. And so I'm going to show a book in that vein, and it's called Captain Ginger. And this is the most amazing book. A lady wrote this.
Ahoy Comics.
Her 2 cats named Ginger and Mr. Mittens. And here in the comic, Captain Ginger is the protagonist and the antagonist is Mr. Mittens. And so I'll show you, let me just, this is pretty.
I love this.
This is Captain Ginger, and then this is Mr. Mittens. Okay. And let's just say that they go and they have to fight each other in the end.
He looks like an early Rocket Raccoon. I'm getting Rocket Raccoon vibes.
They're based off of these 2 cats. This is Ginger and Mr. Mittens. So that's them represented. And I could not fucking love that more. But that's the things in space, like things to like reprimands, like Captain Ginger reprimands Mittens. He's like, I'll have you back on the scratching post, like, and that's like a post that they have to stay at or whatever. And then like their scientist cats, like the scientist cats are in there trying to like see how they can beat these the enemies, the aliens, and it's giant spaceships that are goldfish, and like and the scientist cat gets nervous, so he barfs, like cats barf or whatever. And then the 2 like twin cats, like manning the lasers, are doing like they're poking just at the data thing, like cats do. Oh, it's fucking amazing. So yeah, this basically captures the essence of everything it means to be a cat owner, but it's also a sci-fi epic. Here's the scientist cat when he gets nervous. He's ah! And then there's another one that plays like the role of Scotty, like beam me up, Scotty.
The engineer.
Yeah, like the engineer. And hold on, let me show you who that is because it's funny as hell.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Let's see.
What's up,
here's the engineer.
In the chat?
It's the engineer is a big mama cat. He's like, I've got it.
He's just laying there.
Yeah, he's like a man in the ship.
Oh my goodness.
It's hilarious.
Like a little cat tower, it looks like. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's the scientist. And then those are the 2 controllers that are trying to shoot.
Oh yeah, they're just trying to hit the
Yes. Oh my god, it's amazing. So I can't.
How many issues did that run? Did you know if it's still ongoing?
Ask Bearded Comic Bro. Only had the first few, but he read them.
That's
all.
Funny.
He read them all. So I only read the first couple because I could only find the first couple, but like they were so
Steve Bizzle is in the chat. He was my last guest. If you guys missed that show, you can catch the replay of that. A lot of fun. I appreciate that. And that, hey, he was nominated for some community awards for his programs like over on the Council of Comics. So congrats to you. And this gentleman, Hoodat, he got nominated for an award as well. What's going on, Hoodat? Appreciate you coming by. Oh my goodness. And same with this guy, Dr. Doom's fan club. What's up, Stu? Good
All
to
these
see you,
damn
sir.
nominees.
They
It's
just
just
rolled
4
in together
nominees.
as one big group. What's up, John Big Daddy Ross? And I know that this guy, the Jackson Roy Kirk, got nominated as a community member award. So look at all these hope. You guys all came in together. It's like you rolled into the club like Ocean's 11 style or something. I don't know what's going on.
It's true. And then I got a parent figure for you, or
Yes,
the
please.
one who I always kind of wished she was like my parent or seemed like a parent to me.
Right.
Moira
Oh,
McTaggart.
now you're talking.
I always kind of had a thing where like, God, she's so smart and she's Scottish and she's a scientist and she likes Xavier and she has all the answers. And I could live on Mirror Island like a new mutant. And she could be my
She knows where they
student
keep
mom.
all the AK-47s over in the mansion too.
Yeah. So
that's the best part about that issue is she's like first day on the job, they get attacked by a monster and she comes running in with a machine gun.
Yeah, she's a Billy badass. Like she doesn't play. So Moira.
So good.
That's a great my
one.
mom.
I love it.
Okay.
Oh, I missed Madam in the chat. What's going on, Madam? Good to see you. And Soul is online.
Moira is 2A material.
Moira is a boss. Absolutely. And yes, always packing.
Her son is a little bitch. Proteus is kind of a dick, but what are you going to do?
Problematic guy.
Well, Charles and Moira had the 2 badass baby kids.
They, very unstable children.
Very unstable children.
Maybe not the best parenting figures on retrospect.
They needed like individual development programs. Sorry.
So you grew up with animals and pets your whole life then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fantastic. How many cats do you think you've personally owned in your life?
Okay, I started with Peaches, and then there were a couple of cats in there, but then there was like the next memorable one was Kitty Boy, and then Brown Kitty, and then Black and Red. I adopted them from Katrina when I was a student down there, and then now my most recent is Miss Kitty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are these cats that you've gotten from shelters? Is this the cat delivery system where they just show up in your life and you're adopting them?
Both though. Yes. I've never paid for a cat. Okay. They just like Miss Kitty. So, at the end of May in 2016, like maybe beginning of June or something, but it was like, oh God, my best friend died. I found out like my buddy called me from Nashville. I was working in Chattanooga at the time. He was like, hey dude, Catherine died. Like she had this mild, or well, I guess it's not mild, but she had a seizure. And the thing is, it wasn't that bad, but she slumped over and it closed her airway.
Oh no.
And like she would have lived, she would have come back to like consciousness if she hadn't have slumped over.
Right.
And like she was a mom to 2 girls that were like 10 and 12, and it was just fucking crushing.
That's heartbreaking.
And I was like, I can't do this. I need a cat. And so I had to I got Miss Kitty. That was my cope. Like, no, I'm getting a cat. Like I looked on Craigslist and I was like, she needs my love.
Yeah. And she was she was on Craigslist in your area and you went and got her. Was that the original owner or did they find her as a stray?
Yeah, she wandered up to their house. They wandered up to her house, like dehydrated and hungry, and they couldn't keep her because they had a dog. And it was like husband says no kind of situation.
Sure.
And so I met this random chick in a Target parking lot in Chattanooga.
and she gave you a cat.
Miss Kitty became my family.
I love that. That's fantastic. Like I feel like cat origin stories are always excellent.
Yeah.
What's up, Simon? Mad Spidey's in the chat. Good to see you, my friend.
They're constant wanderers.
Finding a tortoise. Oh, geez.
Cats are nomads for sure.
Let's see. Jackson said you were down where for Katrina? Something with
I was down in Baton Rouge. So I went to LSU Baton Rouge, and it is only 60 miles inland of New Orleans. And we got hit with like 60-mile-an-hour winds, gusts of winds, and like tons of like rain. And like, so we had downs like live oaks, power was out everywhere. And so, yeah, we had a lot of infrastructure damage through the gusts of winds. And then like the whole 250,000 of people evacuating New Orleans to Baton Rouge. So we like doubled in size over a weekend. Like,
wow.
I had panic attack. The first time I ever suffered a panic attack was during Katrina. It was fucked up.
I bet.
I highly suggest not getting caught in like a fucking natural disaster because this is not fun.
I mean, even the distance that I am from that area, like we had an influx of people here. I can't imagine being closer in proximity, how that wave of, evacuees impacted all those different cities.
Lines of people fighting for gas, the empty shelves at stores, the anxiety and cruelty of the people waiting in line to get gas and the competition for resources, it made people look ugly to me and it fucked me up. It fucked me up.
You're not alone, honestly. You want to think that everybody would be,
yeah, who dat was probably sitting there with some sunglasses on eating popcorn. I don't have that level of chill, my friends. It messed me up. And who dat's down there in the middle of it?
And it sounds like Jackson he had left New Orleans just the day before.
Well, I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a bumpkin from a 150-acre cattle farm in Tennessee. So that shit had me.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's scary. Who dat says Ida was even worse. I didn't even notice. I didn't hear that, but maybe it's different areas of.
Well, so who dat's a native. I was only there for the time I was there. He was there for all the hurricanes before and all the hurricanes after.
Yeah.
So he knows.
He's a New Orleans stan.
He was like, I was born into the darkness.
I was gonna say he's gonna be there when we revert back to the zombie apocalypse. He'll still be there. What's up, Lopez? Oh, thank you for voting. Apparently, I'm old enough to be a Hall of Fame potential nominee for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
This is very concerning that my name is listed in the might be listed in the Hall of Fame.
Like I had a friend. There are different areas in New Orleans, and some got hit worse than others. And I went to an area. It was called Chalmette, and the homes there, like I saw like cars and like boats partially on top of like the freaking roofs of homes because the water had gotten that high and floating, and seeing like families' homes and like lawns with like molded family photo albums. That shit messes with you.
Sure. All right. I can't imagine. And then there's who dat. Category 1, that's just a regular day.
This guy.
But then you got doomed. Stu apparently went down and helped with FEMA for a few weeks, 3 months after the hurricane. So that's crazy.
And there's so many people that came together to help, like, and that had no stake in it, had no like they just came and helped. Like, you don't get nervous until you see a Cat 3. Well, I was nervous.
Well, and then I think the evacuee challenge is a whole other layer of anxiety.
And Ray Nagin was kind of derpy, but let's not talk about that.
All right, well let's get back to comics a little bit here. I have only just started as an adult going to comic book conventions. I don't know if you've been to a lot of comic book conventions in your life. Okay, have you had experiences with creators? Interactions with a creator that left an impression? I've met a few, and I was, this question came from the fact that for those, behind the curtain here a little bit, I've met Marv Wolfman a few times. Marv Wolfman is just an absolutely sweet, genteel guy. And I started this question because I talked to my buddy Brandon, Comics Kings, and he said he almost ran Marv Wolfman almost ran him over.
I'm sorry.
No.
Ray Nagin. Sorry.
He was walking down the street and Marv Wolfman almost ran him over. And I was like, well, that's a great meeting of a celebrity. So I was curious for you. Did you have any interactions with creators that were memorable for you or had an impact on you?
Yes. First, I want to finish like Who that says that he loved Ray Nagin because Ray Nagin was famous for, okay, Nola got devastated.
Yeah.
And then he had a press conference on like rebuilding and like getting the info. And he was like, this is Chocolate City. And, and then there's like,
what's up, Steve?
Okay. So then, yes, I went to Heroes Con this June.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
And so I'm going to give you two different examples. One is of an artist who I'd always wanted to meet and was like, okay, basically he's my dad. And so first that's Claremont, obviously.
Nice. So jealous. Good book to pick.
Yeah. And Madam dressed up as freaking White Queen, and Chris Claremont came up to us in the line and said hello to Emma Frost. And I was like, is that Chris Claremont? And I was freaking out because it was definitely, but people didn't.
That's cool.
And I was like, was that Chris Claremont? And like, we were looking around. It fucking was Chris Claremont. Cool. It fucking was. So she was my treasure bait. And so, yeah. And Heroes Con, and who that got behind us in line for the Chris Claremont line. And he got signatures from, well, his wife stayed and was saving a place. But yeah, Who Dat was there, and Miss Who Dat and Lil Who Dat. Yeah, his daughter's taller than me now. His daughter's taller than me, bro. It's messed up. She's not Lil Who Dat anymore. She's just like daughter Who Dat. There's no little about it. And then this is an experience.
I've yet to meet Claremont. It's never all the cons I've been to: Baltimore, MegaCon, Orlando, WonderCon, San Diego.
I told him I was like, I became a biochemist because I was fascinated about like learning about mutants, like just a whole mutant
genetic
thing.
Mutation.
And I was like, you got me into trouble. This is the good you caused for it, you asshole. But see, they were getting ready to close lines, and then so a lady started handing out tickets. But they didn't. Ooh. They got us in before he had to go to panel. So
they thought you were going to cut the line right at you. That's rough.
No, they even did. They got Who Dat in and everything.
That's fantastic.
All right. This is one that I was like, if I can get this, it'll be cool. But if I can't, that's fine. But I ended up really enjoying our conversation. Was Amanda Connor.
Oh, nice.
So this is the final Barbie. I
bet the print run was low on that.
Barbie number 63. So not as low as you might think. Went longer than the Invaders, bro.
I mean,
yeah.
So a run of 63 is nothing to scoff at. Yeah.
She looked at this. So I was like, yeah, did anybody bring this? And she looked at it for a long time. Because if you look at the facial expression, it's not super. It's just kind of like
frozen.
Yeah. And she was like, is this me? And I'm like, dude, it totally is, because do you see this CO? Like, that's Connor.
There it is. It's hidden behind that barcode.
And then she looked at it longer, and she was like, I remember now. She was like, they changed my facial expressions. And or they would make me go back or edit. They edited the face on this, and she said they would only allow me to show a specific range of emotions on Barbie, which was like slightly surprised to, happy. Right. So, and she said that she remembered her editor, seeing this and how she had felt kind of like she saw that Amanda was frustrated, because she wasn't allowed to sort of do the thing that she really loved. And so she got the next gig that her editor got her was on Gargoyles, where she got to bloom. But so so she signed, and she picked out a matching color and wrote a heart, and
love it.
She's in a relationship with Jimmy Palmiotti. Yes. And so they were sitting next to each other signing books, and she was like, hey, look at this.
That's cool.
And then I brought this to other I met Adriana Mello, who is I think she's Brazilian, but she's South American, and she did the interiors for the new Wonder Woman or whatever for DC. and she's a great artist. And I showed her this, and she was like, "This was Amanda Connor." And so she showed this, and she was like, "Hey, look, guys, this was what Amanda was doing back." And they like all laughed, and she's like, "She's come a long way." So,
but those are the fun conversation pieces you get to have when you bring the right book or the right thing. I have a couple of, thanks to Unruly Simeon, I've got a couple of pages from John Boy Myers art, Spider-Man art.
Yeah.
And I brought him to his booth, and he and his wife were laughing so hard. He's like, "Oh my God, it's like seeing an ex-girlfriend that you don't really want to see again."
You like elicit these memories, and I think that they all really appreciate that, because people, like, anyways, it was great.
No, it's great. I love it. We got Matt in the chat, and Madam is congratulating him. And yeah, both of you, congratulations on your award nominations. That's awesome. And Southern Comic Geek, we were talking about you, Jason, earlier. Appreciate you, my friend. I hope things are going well.
He's trouble.
I know he is, but I was talking about how you can talk about me being absent-minded about scheduling and showing up for appointments.
Not him. That man's on it.
He is on it. He is. Mad Spidey, creators get amnesia after a while, especially if they have a huge body of work. I mean, that's very true. Very true. We got Rod the Rican in the chat. What's going on, Rod? And I got Rod scheduled to do one of these live streams with me in a couple of weeks. So
Mr. Coconuts.
Expect that freaking Rican action in here soon at some point.
Hell yeah.
Those are fantastic. And I love you have such a diverse collection of books. It's probably a lot of fun to kind of like curate the book you want to bring to match it with the creator.
I had a blast doing that, and I got so many different signatures this time.
Did you?
So many. I got like freaking 12, 15, like a lot. So most of the things that I did is I brought a big stack. I looked at the program, and I was like, okay, and I picked out pieces that I wanted the different people to do. So I brought my own comics and had a lot of them do that, and oh my God, it was great.
That's fantastic. I love that.
I was spazzing out.
So let's talk a little bit about world travel. Obviously, you like Scotland, Moira McTaggart. Have you traveled anywhere like that in your life? What are some of the places that you've been to that had an impact on you, or that left their mark?
So I have, I've been to Canada. No, which I have Niagara Falls. But no, I've been to France, and I've been to England, and I traveled to Scotland, and I've been to the Netherlands, and I've been to the Swiss Alps, and I've been to Monaco.
Gosh, love it.
Yeah. So I've been around. I did a semester abroad in the University of Nottingham in college.
Ooh, that must have been exciting. Did you know anybody there when you went? Was it all just fish out of water?
I didn't know a single motherfucker.
I love it.
I knew I wanted to go, and like I knew I was also like not trying to learn anything new. So I was going to England. I was like, I'm not learning a fucking language. Like,
did you have anxiety about it? Were you excited about that experience? Were you like just jump in 2 feet?
I was kind of like that, but at the same time, like, so, and I kind of was blind, I guess. I didn't realize, because, it's like, man, I'm kind of naive. I mean, I was a college kid, right?
I was going to say that's the right time to be naive.
It's like 1920. That's a pretty naive time in your life.
Sure.
So it was when George Bush was the president.
Okay.
And when I went to the University, and what I didn't realize was that if people knew that you were an American, that they would want to tell you everything that was wrong with America and everything that was wrong with George Bush and why America was terrible. And it was pretty wild, because it was like, how can I help you with that? I'm sorry. So it was really weird socially, and I felt like I felt more times than I wanted to felt like I had to be in a position to like justify like shit that I didn't even make decisions over. And I was like,
right.
But like, my bad. But what I want to show Sorry. I want to show these two pieces. This is called trench art. And what
Ooh.
trench art is, there are soldiers from World War One and World War Two. And World War One and World War Two were fought in mainland Europe, Western Europe, the majority of both. And these are examples of pieces of art that the soldiers would make while sitting in their trenches, getting
Wow.
bored out of their mind. So if you see this is a brass bolt. Okay. So these guys got a brass bolt and they got two different pennies or,
Coins there.
pence,
Yeah.
and they banged them and smoothed them outwards. That's George
Wow.
the Sixth, right? Yeah, George the Sixth, the one that Wallace,
Yeah.
and then they made lighters out of it. And so, like, you
Wow.
could, that's the top, and
You just pour the
yeah,
fuel in and then
right.
wow.
You can,
And
yeah.
they welded it together or
Well,
soldered
so
it?
I can pull this thing out. I pull it out, and that's how you fill it up.
Right. Wow.
And so
But
these
they
guys,
soldered the coin into the
yes,
nut,
yes,
the bolt.
yes. They had the capacity, and so these guys were fucking artists. So this was
No
one
shit. That's crazy.
example. Hold on just a second. Let me. Uh, and I apologize, everybody. I am a very vulgar person, so I curse.
Right. That's why we're friends now, not kids.
Oh yeah, yeah. John's Comics with Friends. Sorry, I'm like hyper focusing on getting this read. Okay, so anyways, there's
That's
that.
cool.
Boswell. Okay, cool. And then this one, I'm not exactly sure what they used for the outer thing, but here on one side they put George the Sixth, and this side they've got his dad, George
Oh
the Fifth.
wow.
Yeah.
That is cool. What's at the bottom there? Is there like a
That is a screw where you unscrew that and you put the liquid in
so you
it.
can fill it that way.
Yeah, that's so somebody
Wow.
a filler this way, and this is a top.
For sparking it.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you can put a little flint in there, and so
That
yeah,
is
this
cool.
is, this is.
And you got those when you were in Nottingham?
These are pieces that I have gotten from different antique sites, but the thing is just it links me.
Absolutely.
Think about the people who made this, the thoughts that were going in their minds. Where were they? The families they had, the stories they hold, why this got left behind. Like, there's just so much power in that. And when I went to Europe, that's what I felt was history. I felt like when you go to some of those like castles and those ancient buildings, you just feel the energy and like the aura of people that have come before you and powerful ones too.
Sure.
And just it feels heavy, and there's like a level of like reverence and respect, that you I just feel for it. And
that's cool.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
No.
We got Triple G in the chat, just in time for us to talk a little UK. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well.
God save the Queen.
Fun fact: did you know that French fries didn't come from France? They were made in Greece.
For the king.
Matt says he's got some World War II French rifles, never fired, dropped once after they fled. Wow. He says it's possible that tin came from a canteen. The circular one might have come from a canteen.
Okay.
That's cool. Austin LeMay, what is going on, sir? Good to see you.
Yeah.
That is cool, though. Wow.
So creative. Yeah. Beautiful pieces.
And you found those in antique shops, you said?
Well, no, you can go online antique shops and like there are different antique shops and stuff. If you go to like eBay, for example, and type in trench art.
Okay.
Or trench art lighter. You can say, and you can specify by war too. You can say World War I trench art, World War II trench art, Like,
Wow.
and there's different things. It's just, look, these guys, it was mostly waiting and existing in these
Yeah.
mud pits with intermittent waves of extreme violence.
Sure. Just a way to have an outlet for that stress, right?
Exactly.
Think about something else for a while.
This is what they were keeping their minds on. But beautiful pieces of art came from crazy times of dissociation and stress.
Right.
And even in those times, art was made.
Sure. 100%.
Maybe out of
It feels like
desperation because they had to. It's the only thing they had control of.
And it feels like it's almost more necessary in those times, right?
Yeah.
For sure. That's fantastic. You and I have talked a lot about love for fantasy literature. Sorry, I keep doing this like,
No, I
don't
like
know
it.
what this Spider-Man move I'm doing here.
Mhm.
But as far as like beyond comics in other mediums, music, movies, TV, novels, what are some of your other faves? What are the other things that feed Lady Fantastic?
I'm a big audiophile, dude. I like a lot of different types of music, but I guess what I was more of doing is I'm going to show you stuff that wasn't necessarily a comic or didn't start out as a comic
Love
or
it.
whatever.
Yes.
And it's funny because I love Tolkien.
Yeah, we were talking backstage. Ooh, yes.
So I love,
love that artwork.
Yeah, I love Tolkien. But Frank Herbert, he does a great job at world building. But apparently Tolkien did not like him at all, or did not like the book shit, the Dune shit at all. And I was trying to think why. And I think because I find it's just, look, it's the same level of detail and creativity gets put into it. However, religion was used as a tool in this of violence and indoctrination and power and force and means to an end. And Tolkien, being the man who he was and having the belief system that he did, was not exploring that theme, did not see religion as serving that purpose, and
or didn't want to see it that way.
Didn't want to, wasn't capable of, had a different agenda. Just he wasn't. They are just too different.
And ultimately, I mean, I've read almost nothing from Dune. I've seen the films and I know the basic concepts, but seems like it's not a hero origin story as much as maybe a cautionary tale.
Yes, anti-hero, and the true, to know what real freedom is only to be oppressed for thousands of years until you can free yourself. So do you want to know what it really means to be free? Well, then I'm going to have to oppress you fuckers for 10,000 years, and you have to evolve to figure it out. And that's where your true freedom lies. And it's like, fuck.
What you can make for yourself.
Does that sound like Tolkien? Hell no.
No,
hell
not
no.
at all.
Anyways,
he just wants to sit in the cave and have your pipe.
The cave? What? Plato's cave?
Hobbit hole under the ground.
The Matrix? No, sorry. And it was like segueing. Yeah. So there's other stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I like. But all kinds of lore out there.
Have you read a lot of fantasy literature or sci-fi? Or do you have a preference for one or the other?
I guess it would be I enjoy sci-fi because you can ask really difficult moral questions without maybe necessarily triggering people I'm just being real, without triggering people in ways that they're all too familiar with. And when you can recontextualize it and remove emotion from the question, then it allows you perhaps to have a more nuanced or be more appreciative,
intellectual.
right. a more
It's like
logical.
I think of like Starship Troopers discussions around fascism and being
Mhm.
able to understand that not when you're in it, but from outside of it in some way, right?
Yeah.
Although there are still people that can't watch that film objectively. They just see it as let's shoot some aliens.
And those are the ones for whom we weep.
Yeah, and yeah, Star Wars same way. I think I wonder if the roots of that are just naturally in science fiction, or if it's guys like Orwell and Roddenberry and Lucas who kind of
No,
like
Southern Comic
invested it.
Geek. Don't.
We're definitely not
You
willing to say
can't.
that at
Don't
all.
play that. He's just trying to start. He's just trying to start fights. He's trying to take away from our happiness. Don't you? He didn't like that I said some about because I was thinking it, but I didn't say it. But I was going to be like, Valiant sucks. And I guess
Twilight. I mean, the beauty of like Twilight Zone was, or Black Mirror is, forcing you to deal with things that are uncomfortable, but within a safe framework, right?
exactly.
You can have an intellectual conversation about it, right?
Yes.
What's up, Connor? Thanks for coming by. But I do agree. That's the fun and challenge, I think, of good science fiction, for sure.
Star Trek. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I saw Star Trek is very much an Aesop's fables in space.
It's like an idealized dream of what we could achieve with some unity, with some common purpose, with some, common goals.
Insight, lack of reactionary behavior.
Yeah, compassion. Yeah, for sure.
Look, we've done
even within a military hierarchy, which they exist within, with captains and lower ranks, they still had a system of belief in one another.
Yeah, Twilight Zone was great, and so there was a lot of cool stuff. And anyways, yeah.
For sure. Now I can't handle Black Mirror. I think I'm too close to it now. So Black Mirror it's traumatic to me sometimes. I can't watch some of that show. Twilight Zone, at least I can distance myself a little bit more. The second to last question is one that I ask because I'm a big proponent of education. I love hearing stories about successful teachers, people that had an impact. My dad was a principal for 20 years. My mom's been a teacher all her life. Like everybody in my family, lots and lots of teachers and educators. So is there a person you can point to and say this person had an impact? What was that impact like? And is there any comic that may relate to that person or that experience?
Yeah. So there was a teacher that I had in high school, and I had her for government and history, I guess, American history, I guess it would be.
Sure.
And her name was Miss Chun, and she was just always really nice to me, and she did teach us the importance of the three branches of government, why checks and balances matter, why we should never have a king, and why tyranny is not okay, which seems to be more important now more than ever. I highly recommend Thomas Paine's writing. What is it? Common Sense.
Yeah, Common Sense. That's what.
So, anyways,
did you feel like she made extra time for you in her day, or for her students in general?
I think she appreciated me. She laughed at me. She could tell I was a little weird, and we made I would always call her, so her name was Miss Chun, and I called her Chunny Bunny. And then I got everybody started calling her Chunny Bunny after that. And so now
she was okay with it.
Chunny Bunny. I don't know. She went with it. So because it was during the time, there was Chubby Bunny, where people were trying to shove that shit in their mouth.
And then try to say something.
It was Marsh. It was stupid. But I was like, this is Chunny Bunny. And she's all right. And so one of the great Americans that I thought really taught us, not necessarily through his actions, but his words,
Yeah.
Taught us that like giving to something greater than yourself and like contributing in a small way can coalesce into a greater movement or into things that make a big positive impact. So even though like you may feel small, like it always like you're always able to contribute and you know, to be able to say like how can I help and not like say like what is in it for me, like that's a whole shift change.
Yeah.
And if we focused more on how we could help others instead of focusing on what's in it for me, I don't think we would be dealing with the issues with greed and inequality
100%.
that we would. But you know, he got his brains blowed out. So I don't know. They're dangerous ideas.
I mean, 100%. No, they absolutely are. I think we've always been so self-centered as a culture in the US, and it's
the
so hard to be
Western, yes.
community centered, you know?
Yeah, Western society is very individualistic, which is not necessarily healthy. Like,
No, not at
there's
all.
a level. Like,
Yeah.
so anyways, like that's my book. Thanks, Miss Chun, and thanks, JFK. Sorry. Anyways, yeah.
That's awesome. And I think there's always somebody I feel like that we can find in our educational past who just made us feel seen, made us feel valued in some way.
She made me feel seen, and just like she made me feel special for the person that I was, and like that's all you need.
Sure. 100%.
That's
all we
need.
crave, you know.
That's
especially as teenagers are pushing away some of the people that love them naturally, instinctively at that age. To be seen outside of that household dynamic is kind of important.
So, yeah, it matters.
Yeah, 100%. So last question. I feel like there's at the same time in our culture, there's a focus on results and not the hard work, right? Not the process of achieving something, but the achievement. And I just wanted to hear a little bit about some of your proudest moments or a proudest achievement in your life and the challenges you went through and overcame and kind of what that was like for you. And then maybe there's a comic grail that you've never thought you would own that you want to share, something that was like a collecting achievement that you feel proud of.
I mean, look, I'm not, I've gone through a lot of adversity, but do it all. I think resilience and just believing in yourself. Like there are some things, I don't feel the most confident about, but there's other things. It's like I'm blindly hard-headed, and I will be damned before anyone ever tells me that I can't, or they try and get in the way. Like I'm just not gonna. Like you're just gonna have to kill me first. Like I'm not gonna be quiet, and I'm not gonna stop doing these things.
Sure.
And I think that I'm glad that I can retain a certain level of authenticity in a world that's full of masks.
Ooh, that's a great state. I love that. I think that, wow. I think that's very true of especially today, the social media impulse to put on a face and present something that's not realistic. Yeah.
What you see is what the fuck you get. Warts and all.
That's fantastic. And I think that's going to become something I think the next generations are going to deal with in their own way, because it's going to be even more prevalent. I think
we need to get to this point, and once you get to that, there's going to be other things you're going to have to break down and deconstruct, because it's not, and it's just a process. And so, you know, we're breaking down and breaking cycles, and so it's like I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm saying, so I'm playing whatever role in my ancestral lineage, and it's like, look, I just hope like the people that were in my family before me that felt stifled or had lives squandered or whatever happened, that like I can bring a, you know, sort of a psychological balm to that by taking actions that no one in my family has taken before. And that comes with a level of vulnerability and openness.
Or that they weren't privileged enough to be
They
able
weren't
to
privileged enough to have access
because of
to or to
the
talk
time that they
about.
grew up in. And
Yeah.
yeah, we not to go off on a crazy tangent, but this last weekend I was with my dad and we went and visited his, family home where he grew up, in the area where he grew up. And he told a story about his mom basically being told by his dad not to see her father as much anymore because he didn't want to come home from work and see his father-in-law at the house. Never mind that they had a really great, loving, connective relationship, but she was not empowered as the wife to be able to say that to her husband at that time. She couldn't push back. She had to kind of just follow as was expected. And it was shocking to me because she agreed to it and didn't see her own dad as much anymore, even though they lived within, he came over all the time and read to his grandsons and spent time with them. He was taking care of his invalid wife. So, obviously spending time with his only daughter and his grandkids was his outlet away from that. But to grow up in an era where your husband can tell you that you can't see your dad as much anymore seems shocking to me. And she was not in a place to push back.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like my my grandma on my dad's side. So like I didn't meet my oldest uncle because when he was 18 he killed himself, and my dad shared a room with him, and my dad found his body.
Oh wow.
And it was on Mother's Day, and
wow.
He was particularly close with my grandma. And my grandma went batshit insane. And my grandpa, his way of coping was, you don't get to cry about it and you don't have to talk about it. Like, you can't do that because it makes me sad. So you can't we're not
I don't want to feel
about
anything,
David.
so you can't feel anything.
We're not talking about David. We're not mentioning David. David never existed.
It was such an interesting time in culture for men and women's relationships. I can't even imagine.
Oh God, you don't want to know. It's just batshit insane on both sides, anyways.
Yeah.
And here I am now.
Well, I want to say, my dad came out of that experience growing up like that to a place where he's like, no, I am okay with my emotions, and I hug my dad, even though he never hugged his father. I hug my dad, I hug my brothers, and I'm going to tell my kids I love them, and I'm going to spend time with them and do all the things that my dad didn't do right. So my dad came out of that incredibly well adjusted, but he had to learn from it as the oldest of 5 brothers. Like, this isn't normal. Like, this isn't the way it should be. And he saw his grandfather as a caregiver, taking care of an invalid wife and his only daughter, and still wanting to see her and having to do it kind of like during the day
on the low.
His dad when his dad would go to work, grandpa would come over and spend time with them and see them. And so I think he had to make those he had to be aware of it, right? And then make those decisions for himself. So I think it was interesting to hear him recall some of that.
And I think every generation has their own issues, like dealing with things like that.
100%. They're trying to create their new identity, right? In the society that they're living in, as it
and a society that is constantly in flux and changing its 100%. Expectations and requirements and demands.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Let's see.
Oh, in the book.
Yeah. What's the book you want to share?
So I think you guys might think that you can guess, but I'm going to show one that I'm showing it because I really just never thought I would be at the level to where I could find something like this or afford it, or just, I don't know. I just can't believe I have it. And it's just like, I never would have thought that I'd be able to have anything like this as like the kid reading X-Men Adventures. And that is, no, it's not going to be that. See why?
Oh, heck yeah. Neil Adams.
So it's an X-Men 57 signed by
snap. Look at that.
So if you know Neil Adams, you know he's great. If you know X-Men, you know he did some. If you like it, you know he did few. Just a few. And the fact that I have one of the X-Men, one of the badassest covers.
I was going to say that's one of the best X-Men Sentinel covers
the best
ever.
Sentinel covers, period. Getting ready to tear Angel apart. Signed by Neil Adams.
I love it. Such a great cover.
Little me, she didn't know this was coming. Little me didn't know this was in my future. Look at me now.
It's so cool. His string of covers are all so spectacular. The one with Cyclops like blasting across the diagonally across the cover,
and the Khazar one,
and obviously the Polaris. First, which I don't have that one, but I want to get the Polaris cover at some point. Is that 57 or something? No, that's 57.
This is 57.
So it must have been 50. It was 50, right? 49 and 50.
See, why did I think that was Steranko? I guess it's because I don't know why. X-Men 50.
That's X-Men. Fantastic. Though. Great pick. Great pick, Caroline. Look at all the X-Men love today. I love it.
Let's see. Oh, it is. I think you're right.
She might have found it in the dollar bin. Yeah.
No, I didn't. I'm not going to tell you. I'll never tell you. But I did find it for you. So anyways.
That's a banger.
All right.
Beautiful. Caroline, thank you so much for spending time for chatting life and other things in and around this hobby. You have consistently been one of those people that I am drawn to in this community. When I see you on a live stream, I want to dive into that chat and hear what you have to say.
Thanks, man.
You're just absolutely a gem in this community, and I really appreciate you.
Appreciate that. You know how we all wrestle with like ourself, and sometimes, I'm not the nicest to myself, and it's like, I appreciate that other people, enjoy my company. And I feel likewise with you, like knowing what you think, like knowing your opinions, like, hearing your take, and same with like pretty much everybody in this chat. I appreciate you guys because you guys like similar material. You're able to reflect and you have your own unique opinions that can help enrich my experience because perhaps I didn't see certain things.
Right.
And you can like light up new pathways. And so for that, I thank you all for being new, unique lights unto yourselves.
Yeah, it's part of this. I think the fun of this community is people who've had very different life experience from just naturally from where they lived and where they grew up and what they experienced. So that's been kind of fun, and it's how it's impacted your collecting and your perspectives on the hobby as all very relevant.
And yeah, sure. And I like to say diversity is the spice of life. If everybody were the same, I'd want to. So I love the fact that everybody has different tastes and loves, and I'm here for it.
I mean, somebody has to like Cyclops, right? Somebody has to read Batman.
I don't know them, but like, yes, what you said. And I thank them. They're doing God's work. Lord knows I couldn't.
I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us in the chat and spending a little time. I really do appreciate everybody hanging out with us, sharing the love, sharing the links out to Caroline's channels, whether she's hanging out with Rob Worst, whether she's on her own channel. Lots to love there, and I appreciate everybody doing that. I wanted to highlight one thing going on later tonight. Tonight, my YouTube gets taken over by my daughter, Charlie. She is going to host an omnibus review with JP Budget Collecting. They're going to go through Tom Taylor's Nightwing. Charlie recently read it, and she had a blast, and I conned her into coming back to the channel for one night only. So I'm not going to be on the channel. It's just going to be Charlie. She's going to run the show here. But that's this evening. So hit the button for that notification for later, because you won't want to miss it. Hopefully she has a good time and has no technical issues. 2 weeks from today, I'm off next Saturday because I'm doing a family thing. But 2 weeks from today, I'll have Rod the Rican on. Okay. And we'll be doing an interview with the Freakin' Rican. So you better be here for that as well. And I guess that's pretty much it. I appreciate everybody for coming by, and I'll catch you all again soon.